Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. I'm so excited to have you. So please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be the first to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for checking out this video. So let's get right into the business of the day. Now, today let's talk about making money online. I've met quite a few people who have confessed that they are clueless about earning online or even selling their skill. And that's totally understandable because in 2020, before COVID, I was a fashion designer. I mean, more on that later, maybe in a later video. But I was a fashion designer. But when COVID hit, businesses completely shut down. And you know how it all went. But I knew that I had to do something for myself if I would not be broke and frustrated. So I got talking to a digital marketing coach, and they were the ones that opened my eyes to the fact that I actually had a soft skill that I could sell. So my point here is that everybody has something to offer. You have something to offer. You see, what happens with most of us is that we usually underlook our skill, if that's a word. We usually look down on what we have. I am very sure if you look at yourself very well, there's a skill that you have that you are looking down on and you're like, I don't think this is going to be it. So at that time, for me, it was editing. So my coach asked me to take some time, like maybe a day or two, and write down everything that I can do. So it's not everything that is earning you money, like everything that you can do, everything that you have the ability, that this thing is inside me, I can do it. So I took paper and pen, I started writing, I can cook, I can I can bake, I can sew, I can make bags, I can edit, I can do everything. And that was where the light bulb moment came. So when I went back to speak with them, they said, okay, you can edit because at that time I have always been editing for my friends. I have some friends that used to write. So when they finished writing and they post it, I had these eagle eyes. I will spot mistakes, one apostrophe that is where it's not supposed to be, or one spelling that is not correct. My eye will shall catch it one way or the other. And I'll tell them, oh, this is a very beautiful write up, but I think it can be better. So they got used to sending their write ups to me before they post because auntie with the eagle eyes. So I will go through it, I will proofread, I will help to edit it and touch it up and everything, and I send it back to them before they post the text. So it was just something I enjoyed doing. I didn't think much about it. And even when I was in school, I was for I think for a tenure, I was the editor in chief for my campus fellowship. That was BSF at the time. Yeah, so it's always been something I just enjoyed doing, and I didn't think it was so much of a big deal. I like editing, I edit and everything. So when I spoke with my coach at that time, okay, they told me, there are people that actually get paid for being copy editors, for editing text. I'm like, are you serious? Me, I didn't even know what was going on. I was not informed. So as we're chatting and chatting, and they said, okay, maybe you can look up copy editing. And then because my coach then they were a couple, so the two of them were on the call with me. We called them Takutaya, right? They were a couple. So as one was saying, okay, you look up copy editing, and the other one said, is it copywriting? And you're like, no, it's not copyright. Copywriting is different from copy editing. Me, that my brain, I have cash the copywriting. Like, well, don't change copywriting. I mean, sorry, if you don't understand Yoruba, I'm like, okay, which one is copywriting again? So immediately they asked me to go and do a little bit more research on the editing and see what I can make out of it. I said, okay. So after the call, I just went on Google and checked what is copywriting. Which one is copywriting again? And then I found so many interesting things and I felt, okay, this one too makes sense. And funny enough, when I was a fashion designer at the time, I used to post my products on social media, but I had one big challenge. I didn't know how to write captions for my product. Writing captions, okay, it was such a big, super duper headache. I would think, oh, I won't know what to write. Eventually, I would just plaster something there. Oh, I cannot come and die. At some point I also did mini importation. I'm just a serial entrepreneur, that kind of person. So I've tried my hands on a couple of things, but you see that social media caption writing one, that thing wanted to kill me. So I felt, okay, this copywriting is about writing how to sell. This is something I've been struggling with. So I'm finally going to learn how to. So I really got interested, and before I knew it, I borrowed money from my husband. Because I didn't have any money, and I just had a baby. I just had my baby at that time. So I got some help from him. I think course cost like 5K on Udemy at the time. So I jumped at it and I bought course. Within 1 week like this, I already completed the course. And I mean, because I was so invested, I was really curious about everything. And I felt like, okay, this is something I am really interested in doing. And like that, I learned a new skill and I started to market myself. I ran about 3 caption writing sessions on WhatsApp for business owners who were struggling to write captions because God has delivered me from the problem now. So let me go and come and start delivering other people. So that was what happened, and that's how I got into copywriting. Yeah. And then later I wrote my first small ebook and everything. So my point in this thing is you might not be thinking much about it, but there is something you have. There is a skill that you have. Okay, let's even say that you don't have any skill. Let's even say that in this life there is no skill. You can learn something. Right? You can learn something. But like I said earlier, one of the things that happen with us is that we usually look down on what we have. You be like, this thing, can it really make sense? But I'm telling you that skill that you are looking down on, some people cannot do it. That skill that you think is not that important, somebody else is struggling to do it and they will gladly pay you money to do it for them. And God now bless you if that skill is something you can offer over the internet, like writing. You don't need to see me physically before I can write for you. You know, I mean, and that's one of the advantages for having soft skills, graphic designing, web design. You can work with anyone all over the world, right? So even if you feel like you don't have any soft skill or anything, you can learn, and thank God, right? The internet is such an it's such a rich resource. I mean, there are so many things you can learn. You can choose from. There are free courses everywhere. So if you feel like, oh, I don't have money to buy a course, all these course people they are too expensive, that's okay. There are free resources. There are free courses that you can take. I think even Google has free courses that they usually give to people and they don't give you certificates. So there's literally no excuse at this time. Okay, the economy is somehow everything is expensive. I don't know what to do, and you're still, please, especially if you're a young person, you have no business waiting around for somebody to come and hand the job over to you because you know as they go now. You know what's happening, you know what is going on. You have to make things work for yourself. So you have something. The first encouragement I want to give you today is that you have something. There's something in your hands. There is something God has put inside of you. Bible says that a man's gift makes way for him. So there is a gift inside of you that you can nurture and let it flow out of your belly so it can bring goodies into your hands. For me, it was editing, in then writing. It's been writing, and I've been enjoying every bit of it so far. I'm not telling you that it's always be so like the moment you start, you just start earning millions of dollars. Not like that. So I'm going. Maybe I'll share the story of how I got my first clients later, maybe a later video, and that, but at least get started with something. Even if it's an experience you've had. My sister, she also spoke to the same coach, and she didn't become a writer. She started teaching an experience that she has been through. She has gone through weight loss without dieting, without gym and everything, and now she teaches people how to achieve the same. There's just so many things that you can do. What you just need is the right information, and the internet is there to provide for you. And if you now feel like, oh, I don't have time to go on Google and be searching up and down, then you can now look for a coach, somebody to teach you what to do, and I mean, just show you the ropes, so you spend less time conducting researches on your own when there is someone who has gone ahead of you. I can show you exactly what to do. You get what I'm trying to say, right? So either ways, it's either you spend the time to find what you want to do, research, or you pay somebody to show you what exactly. Because at that time, I also paid my coach, um, for the coaching and everything that I had to pass through at the time, right? So, like I said, learn as much as you can. There are resources everywhere. Don't let anybody pop with water. And then there's another thing that says, okay, I know that I can write. I've been writing since I was a child, but there are so many writers out there. How am I supposed to compete with them? I mean, when you go on Upwork, it looks as if everywhere is jam-packed with writers, everywhere is jam-packed with graphic designers, everywhere is jam-packed with web designers. The thing that you can do, people are already doing it. There's no space. It's a lie. Don't let anybody deceive you and don't let any devil lie to you. Yes, you are just starting, but everyone that you admire, everyone that does what you want to do, everyone that is at the level that you want to get to, they started somewhere. I started somewhere. Everyone started somewhere. And you don't climb a tree from the top, you climb a tree from the bottom. Right? So don't be discouraged and say, oh, the top of the tree is far. If you don't start now, you are still going to be where you are in the next 1 year or in the next 10 years. So the best time for you to start is now. So you start now. Yes, there might be other people, but they started somewhere. If they didn't start, they won't be where they are today. And if you admire where they are and you want to get there, the right thing for you is to start. You start from the bottom. Yes, that's where you start. You start from the bottom. Don't let what other people have achieved um discourage you and make you feel like, oh, you cannot, it will take too much time to get there. Mm-mm. Get started already, okay? Don't be intimidated by other people's achievements. They also have paid their dues. So you gotta pay yours as well. I hope you get what I'm saying, right? Everyone starts somewhere. And in fact, let me tell you, so when I started, it took me about when I started to practice and I taught people and I wrote my first ebook. And in fact, the first money I earned there wasn't from a client that paid me to write copy for them. It was from somebody who wanted me to show him how to write copy. So, and that was how I built my first course, like Wajari, because I wasn't experiencing it. But it came that way because I put myself out there on social media. I did not feel like, oh, I'm just starting because I actually had that question. When I told my coach that, they said, okay, now that you have taken the course and everything, what's the next thing I'm supposed to do? They said I should do my Instagram and start teaching people what I know. And I'm like, what do I know? I don't know anything. All I know is what I have just learned. And they said, okay, and gave me this illustration. Like, okay, if you are in primary two, right? You're not in primary five yet, and you're not a teacher, but you're in primary two, and somebody in primary one comes to meet you to teach him his assignment. Will you be able to teach or not? Of course, you're just a class ahead of the person, but you would certainly know more than that person knows. That tells you that no matter your level, there is somebody that does not know as much as you know. And that was what encouraged me to put myself out there and look at it today. I'm glad I made the decision I made. So please let this sink in, right? There is something, you have something that you can sell. And if you feel like, oh, I don't have, or what I have, I don't like it, you can always learn something new. Please go online, ask questions. If you have questions you want to ask me, please pop them in the comments. I'll be happy to attend to them. Please pop them in the question. I'm here to help. Okay, so you can go online, go on Google, come on YouTube. You learn so many things, right? And learn as much as you can. Ask questions. Everyone starts somewhere. Don't be intimidated. Start where you are and find your way up. Start from the bottom. And I mean, even if you're in rock bottom, the only direction available for you to go self is up. So start from the bottom and find your way up, and you will see that all will be well with you. It's better than complaining and waiting for things to happen, because especially in this part of the world, things don't just happen. You have to make them happen. I hope I've been able to speak to you today through this video, and I'm hoping that you take action and this video comes across to you as helpful as possible. Like I said, if you have any comments or questions, please pop them in the comment section and I will attend to them. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you can get notified every time I upload a video. And if this video has helped you and you think it's going to help somebody else, please click on the share button and just send them the link and say, oh, I watched this video, you blessed me, I think it will bless you too. Let's spread the word and help as many people as we can. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to catching you on the next video. God bless you.